Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today I'm going to be showing you guys one of my favorite weekly night meals, and that is a garlic butter herb chicken with some rustic mash and some asparagus. I know what you guys are thinking, why am I using the white meat? And I like to use the white meat because I like to turn it into a chicken mayo sometimes. So yeah, I'm going to be using these big pieces for today. To start off, you guys, I'm just going to show you the spices I'm going to be using to marinate the chicken. I'm going to be adding a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to add some chili flakes. I really like it. Some garlic powder just for taste. I like to use some mixed herbs sometimes, especially the ones from Woolies. I'm also going to be using Spanish smoked paprika, and I really like paprika for color. And I'm going to be using everything else, your normal black pepper, salts, just to season the chicken. Turn the stove on to 180 degrees to make sure the stove is nice and hot by the time we bake the chicken. We begin by marinating the chicken, and I'm going to start with a little bit of Himalayan salt. Himalayan salt is considered to be a little bit healthier than normal salt, so I prefer to use that when seasoning my chicken, and I personally do like coarse salt over normal salt. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of white meat, but I've been loving it recently because it's so versatile. Right after I bake the chicken, I get to turn it into chicken mayo, which is one of my favorites. So yeah, I like to keep it in the fridge for other purposes. Then guys, we're just going to add a little bit of black pepper, because who adds salt and doesn't add black pepper, right? Quick disclaimer, I think I used a little bit too much garlic in this whole entire dish, but I just absolutely love garlic anyway. To my next spice, the baddest in the game, the one who just looks pretty but has no use at all, we're going to be using some smoked paprika. Now, I use this for color. I don't even know why I have this in my spice rack, but you know what? It's just that girl, okay? Next, you guys, I like to add a little chicken spice to my chicken, because sometimes I feel like salt doesn't really add that kick, and you always have to have that Portuguese chicken spice up in the household, but I really like having chicken spice in my chicken just to make sure there's extra flavor, because the white meat sometimes doesn't, soak up a lot of that salt. Next up, we're going to take half a lemon and squeeze those juices into the chicken. Then we'll put it away and allow it to marinate. Next up, we take our baby potatoes and put them on the pot in some water to allow them to boil. Now that my pan is nice and hot, I'm just going to prepare to start frying the chicken, and that's because I like the outer exterior. I do add a little bit of butter. I add a lot of butter to my food actually, guys, but I like the flavor of the salted butter alongside with a little bit of garlic, so I'm just going to heat it up just to allow the outside of the chicken to crisp up. So you guys, then I placed the chicken inside the pan. Normally I would do it skin down. I don't know why this time I did it meat side first. But yeah guys, normally I like to put the chicken skin down and just allow that pot to fry first and create that crispy exterior. After a few minutes or so of frying, your chicken should begin to have this crisp golden outer exterior that looks a bit like this. The potatoes by now should have begun to boil and begun to soften in the hot water. We're going to set the chicken on a tray and allow it to roast inside the oven. For the garlic butter sauce, you guys, I'm going to be using tons and tons of margarine. I think you can use margarine or butter. It's totally up to you. I would say use garlic butter, but my garlic butter was finished, so I used the margarine. And I'm just going to put it inside a dish, a microwavable dish, just to get it to melt. And yeah, I probably should use more butter than that. And I probably should have put the garlic in after heating up the butter. But my understanding is that if I put it in together, it's gonna come out smelling all garlicky and amazing, and yeah, that's what I wanted. This is what it looks like after heating it up, you guys. I'm just gonna spread this all over my chicken and allow the chicken to roast. Next, guys, the baddest in the game, asparagus, guys. I just love asparagus spears. I can eat anything with asparagus. I'm gonna be using it today. Firstly, you guys, I'm gonna be washing off the excess dirt from the asparagus just to prepare to pan fry it. So for my asparagus, you guys, I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to a hot pan. I try not to use too much olive oil because I also add a little bit of butter, just salted butter for that extra effect. But today I'm going to be using some garlic butter. As per usual, good sisters added garlic to the olive oil garlic butter setup just before I add my favorite asparagus off, and I'm just gonna dash it with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper and just basically let the asparagus just marinate in all of that garlic buttery goodness. The potatoes are fully boiled now, so I'm just going to add a little bit of milk to your discretion, however you like your mash. And I'm just going to add a little bit of butter just to make the mash nice, creamy and soft. And I'm just going to add aromat. I learned that technique from a good friend of mine. Now I'm going to take the potato masher, which I don't know if that's what it's called, and I'm just going to mash up my potatoes. Yes, I'm mashing them up with the skin on because that's what creates that nice rustic whole mashed potato. I also learned this from a friend of mine, Tando, and I loved her mashed potatoes ever since. She told me how she eats them with the skin on, and now I eat them with the skin on. The food is technically done, so I'm just going to begin plating. I'm going to start off with my rustic mashed potatoes. I'm sorry about the camera, you guys. That's how it looks. Looks delicious, tastes even better. I'm just going to add about a spoon or two. Plating up my asparagus, which gave me so many issues, but it looks great. It still has a crunch and it's covered in that buttery garlic deliciousness. Next up, you guys, the girl of the moment, I'm adding my garlic herb butter chicken. And guys, let me just say, it looks crunchy on the outside, it's soft, it's even got those garlic pieces all over the skin. It looks and tastes and smells amazing. I wish you guys could try it. That is my take on a weeknight dinner packed with flavor, packed with garlic, and tastes absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!